How's it going, everyone? Welcome to the Evafi podcast, where we bring express value add with financial intelligence. Today's guest, someone with a lot of financial intelligence, Jerremy Newsome.
My man. Excited to be here. Yeah, dude. My pleasure.
Man, we're just chatting a little bit. Man, tell a little bit more about your story, where you come from. Why do you do what you do?
Humble beginnings, man. I grew up in a single-wide trailer treehouse in Georgia, middle of nowhere, no running water, no electricity, dirt floors. Very poor. I was very happy, but we were just very poor. I watched a movie in 1995 that changed my life forever. Academy Award-winning film with Tom Hanks. Do you know the film?
Castaway?
No, almost. Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump.
So like 80% of the way through the movie, Forrest Gump says, Lieutenant Dan invested in some kind of fruit company and said, we don't have to worry about money no more. So I said, good, one less thing. I was like watching that with my dad. I was here, my oldest brother was here, my dad was on the couch watching this from like a stolen VCR. I asked my dad, like, what's he talking about? Because it'd be so cool never to worry about money ever again. And then right after that, I coached with Les Brown before.
Oh, really?
And he helped me kind of reframe why I love doing what I'm doing, because that was a pivotal moment. But right after that, you might remember, he built a school, a church, and a hospital, and then retired Bubba's mom. So she didn't have to work in anyone's kitchen anymore.
Yes.
And that just like ingrained into my soul that people with money, not only can you not worry about money ever again, but you can also do incredible things with money. And that was a big shift for me. So I asked my dad, like, what is a fruit company? And he told me about Apple, told me about how the stock market works. And so I begged him to buy some shares of Apple. And he gave me the very classic, we're too poor.
We can't afford it.
Can't afford it. That's what smart people do. So I begged him for like a year. He eventually caved and said, listen.
And what year was this?
Yeah, 1995.
95.
Yeah. And he said, listen, like if you bring me some money, I'll match it. Dollar for dollar, we'll buy some shares of Apple.
Oh, let's go.
And so as kids say these days, bet, right? I was like, all right, cool. So I went and picked blackberries and I sold them door to door for $1 a bag. Savage sales pitch. No shoes, no shirt. And I made like $1,500.
Wow.
In the summer of 1995. True to his word, he matched it. He borrowed $1,500 from my Uncle Billy and we bought $3,000 of Apple in 1995.
Do you still have that stock to today?
Bro, I wish. It would be worth $38 million. So that was a $37.9 million mistake because we did sell it in 2000.
What was the stock price at when you bought it and when you sold?
Yeah, I think it was like $3 when we bought it. So, I mean, we bought 1,000 shares and we sold it. It quadrupled. So my dad gave me $12,000 as a 12-year-old, and which is an amazing amount of money. I mean, it got me started. It got me interested. And ever since then, I mean, I've been studying money and finance and the stock market and reading almost every book that's on that shelf. Any book with the word money or investing or trading or stock market in the title, I've been obsessed since I was 12 years old.
You read that book, Broken Money?
Yes, Broken Money, The Psychology of Money, Millionaire Next Door, Richest Man in Babylon. Yep. I mean, anything from Joseph Campbell, Les Brown, Zig Ziglar.
DeFi?
The newest one? Yeah, but I didn't read that when I was 12. That just came out recently. Banking on Bitcoin. I mean, all of them. I'm just obsessed with books.
Same.
And I'm a pretty fast reader, and I absorb pretty well. You remember in school when they did accelerated reading? Do you remember that? Mm-hmm. You got like the points, and you would take the test, and you would get the prizes. I got so many prizes, man. I would always read books.
I've always been an audiobook kind of guy because I could put the book on 1.2 or 1.5 speed. Oh, yeah.
I knew I liked you, bro.
Yeah.
The 1.5 it's a clutch. You can do it on YouTube too.
Everything. Podcast. And then, but the thing is, you speed up your brain to a point when you're in regular conversation with people, you have to like slow it down a little bit because you're like, you're on 1.5 speed.
Yes. So yeah, that's kind of my story. And I went to University of Florida, go Gators, to learn finance, learn nothing about the stock market, learn nothing about trading, and just did a bunch of...
What did they teach you in school?
Man, not a lot. I mean, I really think college is designed to just see if you can build relationships with people.
Right.
The universities and the schools as they are created right now, I think are mostly broken. Mm-hmm. I think there's a lot of huge changes that needs to happen in the educational sector, the educational space, the educational system in America needs a lot of revamping. But I didn't learn that much about what I wanted specifically to learn. I mean, I went to business law, did business law, macroeconomics, coupon yield rates, mortgage amortizations.
Now, let me ask you, did you learn more when you were selling those berries or more in college?
Yeah, for sure. I learned more from door-to-door sales than anything in my life.
Interesting.
Yeah.
How much did you make doing the door-to-door berries?
$1,500.
And how much did you spend on college?
Well, actually, thankfully, I had pretty okay grades. So I got like a 75% scholarship. And then I worked at Nationwide Insurance. And so they paid me to go to school. So I didn't go out to any debt. But that would have cost me like $60,000 a year. If I didn't have a
you had a pretty good scenario. That's good. So, man, picking berries, taking bites out of apples, learning a little bit of information. No, I love it. I love it. So what brought you into your current career?
So 2012, I left Nationwide Insurance, which was, Fortune 100 company. Loved everything about Nationwide. It's just, I was a corporate guy. light. The 401k, the company car, the whole deal. And at 24, I moved to Nashville because I got a job at a company called Financial Puzzle, and I was just selling webinar products and financial products and stuff like that. And I understood sales pretty well, and I did really well at that. And every time I talked to someone, they said, "Man, I love how you teach. I love how you explain everything." I knew a lot about the markets. I knew a lot about investing. I knew a lot about trading. I knew a lot about 401ks, IRAs, just because I studied it. And nationwide, I just started making videos for people on a platform called YouTube. And I would make the video and I would unlist it and I would send them the link. And people initially started saying, "Hey, man, I'll pay you." I was like, "What do you mean you'll pay me?" They're like, "Yeah, I'll pay you to make me videos." I was like, "What? Like how much?" I'm like, $100. Like, that's crazy. $100 for a video? And they're like, "Yeah, well, it's worth it to me." So I was like, okay. So I started making videos for people. And this was, that's 2012. 2013, 2014, yeah, early. And I just got into that financial YouTube space where I was writing and helping people and adding value and just trying to help them understand trading the way I understood it. I got really lucky from 2014 to 2018. I had a lot of good investments that worked out just because I was in the right place at the right time. Started investing in Bitcoin in 2015. I bought Square, Shopify. I bought a lot of Tesla in 2018 before COVID.
I really like Tesla stock. I think they haven't even scratched the surface on where that stock is going to be. I think it's roughly what, 4 something right now?
Yeah, it's 433 right now.
My prediction, hot take here, that's $1,000 stock within the next 10 years. With the humanoid robotics, with the Optimus Prime, you're looking at a $5 to $10 trillion company with Tesla eventually.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, their revenues are increasing. That's my world. I'm a big stock guy. So like I understand it. And there's a lot of abundance that happens in the stock market. If I go to a presentation or I speak on stage, that's like my initial thing is I go, for just a moment, dispel any beliefs or accusations or false narratives that you have about the stock market. And let's just take a deep breath, because every single day, Tesla does $80 billion US.
There's so much cash flow.
Well, yes, but in and out of the stock market.
Yeah.
$80 billion a day.
Up, what, an influx, up and down?
$80 billion a day, every day. And so I'm like, give me a crumb of that.
Right.
Right. And so if Tesla moves approximately $12 every day, up and down, if you can catch $3 of that movement, $3 on 1,000 shares, that's 3,000, 200 days a year, that's $600,000 of income.
And how much time would you say that would take?
1 to 2 hours a day.
1 to 2 hours a day, $600K a year.
It's not bad.
It's not bad at all.
And so for a lot of people, not everybody, but for a lot of people, maybe the people watching or listening to this podcast, that will change their life pretty quickly.
Yeah, it is life-changing.
Plus all the additional income that you can make in anything else that you're doing, work, business, entrepreneurship. It's just, it gets you in the game. It gets you understanding abundance. It gets you understanding the math. And the stock market is the greatest revealer of what you need healed internally. And so it'll show you your demons pretty quick. It'll show you if you're too optimistic. I don't believe that the stock market is controlled by fear and greed. I don't think most participants in the market are greedy. I think they're just very optimistic.
Yeah.
They want to make money for your family. I'm sure you got people in your life. If you made $1 million, you'd probably help out some people. You would donate some, you would buy some things for people. Like most participants are actually pretty kind and loving with their money. And so I don't think the market's controlled by greed. And so again, that shift pulls people into abundance, and the abundance frequency is available for anyone. And when you tap into it, you just start feeling this flow with money and investing in wealth.
Tell me more about that flow. How do you get into that flow state?
It's a flow state for sure, but it's also a frequency that you live at. And I think one of the things that happens is you start feeling successful because you as a person are creating cash flow, and you are using your mind to think and grow rich. The book, it's called Think and Grow Rich. It's not called Work Harder and Make More Money.
Yeah, you got that right.
So if you start thinking, you should start growing rich. And what that does is it creates this vibration, this like internal frequency of I am good enough, I deserve, I am successful, I have. And when you start feeling that you have success, you start operating that way. If you operate, I am successful, I have success, what are you going to start magnetizing?
Yeah, you start attracting. Yeah, because words are powerful. Thoughts are very powerful. A lot of people, I don't think, understand the implications on the things they say or the things they think about, even in general. Yeah.
Yes, man. That's my life.
100%.
That's my life. I'm like, you change your words, you change your world, right? Thoughts become things.
I've seen it. I'm a math guy. I'm a numbers guy. I'm a finance guy. So when I see these interconnected things, I'm like, 1 + 1 = 7. What is X? Like, I'm trying to solve for X. Like, how are you like calling me when I just thought of you?
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't even make sense.
Yeah.
Like,
That's a frequency.
Right.
Right. Joe Dispenza calls it heart coherence.
Yeah.
And so your brain has waves. So it moves in waves, AKA frequency. And your heart moves in waves, right? If you look at it on an EKG, it moves up and down in waves, kind of like a stock market. And so if the heart and the brain, they start matching, you get into what's called coherence. And that vibration, that literal human frequency that that you start operating in, you'll just move, act, think, believe, and feel differently. You'll feel happier, you'll feel wealthier, and then you'll just attract more. It's a humongous shift that will happen in anyone's life. And it's free, which is incredible.
100%.
Yeah.
All you got to do is tap into it.
You do.
So we talked a little bit about Bitcoin, and you were early in Bitcoin. What do you think of the recent crash? What do you think the market is to come on Bitcoin and different altcoins?
Oh, I have a lot of thoughts on that. There was a pullback. I wouldn't call it a crash personally. So 125 happened 2 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago. That was the all-time high, the highest it's ever been, 125,000-ish dollars, 125, 126, depending on the exchange. And this is US dollars. So 125,000 US Bitcoin, right now it's at 108.
Yeah.
So that's a very normal shift and movement for Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin moves on average right now 8% a week, up and down.
Up and down 8% a week.
Which is amazing. So for me, I'm not a Bitcoin maximalist. I understand those guys. I love those dudes. I hang out with a bunch of them, but I do love the asset that it is.
It's a good asset. I wouldn't put 100% concentration in it, but
not personally. Yeah.
Yeah, not personally.
But it's an incredible asset and it will go higher over time. I think if you have the opportunity to buy Bitcoin below 100,000, absolutely should. And you have, I think, two things that you should do with it because money loves intention. You can have every single account that you invest in, that account can have intention, put intention and energy behind it. The money loves being told what to do. It's a relationship energy. So if you tell the account, hey, Coinbase, I'm going to buy Bitcoin and I'm going to buy it every single week and treat it like a savings account, amazing.
Yeah, 100%.
$100 a week, $25 a week, $1,000 a week, whatever your income is, put something towards Bitcoin weekly. Awesome. Then you can have this account where you either buy and hold, never touch it. Let's call it Kraken or Gemini. Awesome. And then you can cold storage, put on your Nano Ledger, all the fun things.
You could get loans against your Bitcoin as well. Really cool. Up to say 85% LTV.
Yep, you can. And but you could do that with stocks too. You could do that with pretty much any asset that's going to appreciate. But ultimately, I think also actively trading it is awesome because for me personally, I want to get as many US dollars as possible. That's what I'm not a maximalist, right? Maximalist is Bitcoin's the only thing, it's the only currency. US dollars are going to go to zero. No, they're not. I'm a huge believer that is 100% incorrect.
Yeah.
The US dollar is never going anywhere. Not in our lifetime. Not in your kid's lifetime.
Well, unless it turns into a CBDC digital format would be
sure, but even then it's still there.
It's still there. I mean, we have too many assets as America. I mean, we have over $100 trillion in assets.
Yes.
So people talk about our debt being in debt 3 million, roughly, give or take, 3 trillion a year.
Yep.
Give or take in our GDP, and what we're running at a deficit of what, $1 trillion, give or take.
We are, and it is scary, right? There's a very, very interesting things out there with gold being as high as it is, the stock market being as high as it is, Bitcoin being as high as it is, our debt being as high as it is. There's definitely something out there that's shifting and malleable. I can feel it. But ultimately, yes, we need a little bit of a reset in the overall markets. But for me, man, if the US dollar collapses, you're not worried.
No, the whole world's going to collapse.
Dog, it's over.
Yeah, the whole world.
We're fighting zombies.
Correct, yeah. They let out the drones. They let out the shit that's flying from under the seas.
Terminators coming
out.
That's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah.
And again, you can focus energy on that. But historically, that's just not accurate.
Right.
There's a great book for anyone who's listening. It's called The Accidental Superpower by Peter Zahn, I believe. And that dude is a genius. And he's a geographical specialist. In chapter 2 or 3, he says that most people think that the U.S. is at the beginning of the end, right? So we're about to have this big curve.
Yeah. Well, Ray Dalio talks about that a little bit with the debt cycle.
Sure. And we will have a debt cycle. I think it's actually probably like 4 to 6 years away. There'll be a big one.
Yeah.
Nice 50, 60% like washout. That's coming.
Unless, I do think AI and robotics, quantum computing and crypto,
all about it,
are going to end up solving for a
lot of those challenges.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we're going to come into a really interesting period. A lot of people will lose jobs, but we'll create a lot of abundance of resources.
Like this.
Yeah.
People are going to podcast more.
Correct.
They're going to have more events like you create. They're awesome. Right. I'm going to be at one in the future.
Oh, yeah. Your Friends in Finance, October 24th. The next one, November 13th. Co-host right here, Jerremy Newsome.
Come on in, guys. Come on in. You're going to be there. Yeah, man. That's a beautiful perspective. And again, this reset that'll happen will just be normal, be natural.
Right.
It'll be a Ray Dalio, like, hey, assets will drop by 50%, but that'll provide the best buying opportunity.
Right. What did Warren Buffett say? You make your money when you buy, not when you sell.
Come on, dog. Yeah, same thing in real estate, right?
100%.
And so there will be blood in the streets. There'll be a system reset for a period of time, but that's going to create an incredible opportunity. So on that semicolon side note, Peter Zahn says that a lot of people think that America, we're at the beginning of the end. He says we're at the end of the beginning.
Yeah.
We're just getting started.
Yeah. And it's just the infant stages right now of like AI and like imagine Imagine all these industries like that will become more efficient. Let's just use my favorite example, trucking, because I'm a big trucking guy. I love trucking, logistics, transportation, over the road. Imagine you have AI optimizing your routes. You have it optimizing the classification of your drivers, your taxes, your financials, balance sheets, how you acquire trucks, how you use Section 179 to depreciate your trucks. And you're like, whoa, I'm 30% more profitable than I thought using AI. Now I could expand my fleet by 20%, bring on another 5 to 10 drivers that are bringing on 30 to 40K per truck per month.
Tell me about the Tesla Semi. Thoughts?
We need more infrastructure. I think eventually it's going to happen. I mean, eventually we're going to switch to autonomous vehicles. A Google quantum physicist had told me once, he was one of the engineers on the Willow chip. He's a stockholder of Google as well. Also owns a bank.
Nice.
Great guy.
Always good.
He did tell me though that people will have to get used to the autonomous vehicles because all of the electricity and gas will be used to power the data centers.
Correct. Yeah, I totally agree on that. I have a lot of good friends in trucking. I'll connect you and see if there's any synergy there. But I think the Tesla Semi, that's one that a lot of people are sleeping on. Uber Freight, they're getting really, really dialed in. Again, to just save money, to save time, to save energy. It's going to be an incredible shift because in the 1920s, during the Industrial Revolution, 99% of everyone was agrarian. Right. Like we were in agriculture.
Correct.
Everyone was a farmer to some degree somewhere in the world.
Right. Now it's nothing.
Less than 1% of the world is in farming / agriculture. And that's the same thing's going to happen. Like everything that people do now, there's going to be a shift. Yeah. And yes, AI is going to absolutely decimate tons of jobs.
Hundreds of millions, if not billions.
Correct. Correct. And there's going to have to be a shift. And what are those people going to do? I mean,
what's my purpose?
All that's going to be a big aspect. Yeah. But you can use it to your advantage.
Agree.
And that's where you can have the scarcity belief. And this is where I kind of like start stepping in, where you can have the scarcity, where a lot of fear, jobs are gone, economies are crushed, unemployment's rampant, and the dollar loses all its value and we fight zombies. Cool. You can go that route. Or you can go the route of, we're going to have AI bots. They're going to trade the markets for us. They're going to make our jobs more efficient. We're going to be faster. We're going to be quicker.
Work less days, spend more time with my family. You know, what's the
quality of life goes up.
What's the number one cause of divorce?
Money stress. And then
exactly.
After money stress, it's just stress in general with kids, with wife, with all the things, miscommunication, because you're working, you're always gone, you're never with the kids. And so, yeah, I love that perspective. But that's the abundance perspective, which is what you have, which is why I'm here.
100%.
Because if someone has a scarcity mindset, I don't hang out with those people.
Yeah.
You can live your life and you can do your thing. I just decide to be an optimist and a realist and understand that, yes, there's a thing coming, but we can make it better for us if we want to.
And you have to push to make it better. It's not just going to happen by default. By default, if no one does anything, probably institutions are going to try to take control of the technology and use it as control mechanisms to monitor and track our everyday lives and our movements and what we spend our money on and how we spend our time. If people don't become conscious and aware on how we decentralize this technology, I'm a big believer in open source. Big believer. I don't believe in the closed black box algorithms. I think we need to see what's inside the training data inside these models, because we need to see how they respond and why, because we don't know what's going in, right? Is it all these people's personal information? Is it copyright? Are they being programmed with system prompts that make it respond in a certain type of bias?
Yeah. Well, that's the crazy thing is when I really went in on Tesla is when Elon said, hey, everyone, here's all the information. He open sourced it. He just gave it away to people. And everyone's like, wasn't that a bad thing for Tesla? I'm like, no, because that's a law of the universe. The more you give, the more you receive. It's a scriptural law. Bro was like, here's everything to make everything more efficient.
Open source.
Yep. Enjoy. And I was like, oh man, that's crazy. That's a literal universal law that he used to propel everything. And that's one of the times I started really aggressively investing.
What do you think of Elon?
He's gonna be the world's first trillionaire. Documented.
Yeah,
first trillionaire.
Yeah, on paper.
There's probably a few people in the Saudis or royal families, but would I listen to him for relationship advice? Probably not, and that's okay, right? That's just kind of how I flow. I love my wife. I love my kids. I'm not gonna have a bunch of them.
You're not down for the 6 baby mama model?
It's not my jam personally. Biologically, sure, I want to, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to choose not to. But ultimately,
we don't want the wife to hear this one.
But ultimately, man, he's incredible. He's doing great things for the world. I'm pro Elon. I'm absolutely in the camp that he is not a Nazi.
Of course.
People that call him a Nazi have no definition of what a Nazi is. They've never studied history. They
have no perspective of life.
Zero. You can't call someone a Nazi unless literally they murder people because of their skin color and their race.
It's interesting we're bringing up this topic. I went to the other night, I think I was leaving a business meeting and I went to stop and grab a bite to eat and a drink at a bar right next door to my house. And I'm having a conversation with some young lady, random stranger at the bar, and we're talking. And then she brings up politics and she asked asked me who I voted for, and was like, well, like, I don't vote. I'm in finance. Like, we don't vote in finance. She doesn't understand. I'm like, well, if I vote for one side, then I isolate half my customers. And plus, I don't believe in politics because I think it's a game to divide us all and like make us start arguing. And she's like, well, if you had to choose between Trump and Kamala, who would you vote for? I was like, obviously Trump. She's like, why? I was like, well, because I'm a business owner. She's like, well, his tax bills are bad for business owners. I was like, tell me how. I was like, I've studied like tax code and everything. So explain to me exactly how her policies are good for business owners. No idea. I was like, so let me tell you about Section 179. I was like, Section 179 allows a business, small business, to depreciate up to like $2 million per year per entity. And with proper entity structuring, it could double, triple a business's revenue. And he brought bonus depreciation with Section 179, lower tax brackets, and no tax on tips. So I'm like, tell me how, in what way her policies were better. And she starts calling me a misogynistic, racist. I'm like, whoa. And she's like, all millionaires are bad. All billionaires are bad. They have to do something bad to get their money. I was like, well, let me give you an example. They argue. They don't listen to reason. I was like, well, imagine I have an AI that I'm building, Evafi, which goes into a business and learns from all their financial history and is able to create billions in value that they've left on the table. And I'm able to make $1 billion off of it. Am I a bad person for making others billions? She's like, yes. I'm like, how?
It's just her worldview. And again, that's probably more of the scarcity worldview, right? Yeah. Again, I probably wouldn't be best friends with that person. Yeah. And I know you're not either, but like, that's just the reality of it, because people will hate on Jeff Bezos. But I'm like, guys, he created so much infrastructure and jobs. Like, there are tens of thousands of people, tens of thousands, that feed their family every day because Amazon exists. Just because Amazon, that's just one company. Tesla, Apple, Nvidia. I mean,
well, they don't understand that, the job creation side.
Yeah. So I did vote for Trump. And from the political standpoint, to your point, it is a very, very divisive corridor. And I love the ability to have conversations with people regardless of political belief. Like, let's just converse and learn. And that's just something that needs to be taught in school, right?
Yeah,
like that needs to have, like, instead of teaching kids in middle school geometry, we should have conversation class.
Communications. I agree.
Where you just sit down and go, tell me your worldview. Tell me your beliefs. Why do you feel that way?
They see on the news, I mean, everyone's just the rhetoric against each other. It's crazy. It's like, why do we have to even talk this way? As we talked about earlier, like, your words are powerful.
Yes.
And you know what I did to her? I said, I wish you nothing but the best. I closed out. I left. I was like, I hope God blesses you.
There you go.
She's like, I don't wish the same for you. I was like, I still wish the same for you.
Yeah, it's okay. It's like, yeah, exactly. It's like, I'll be fine, but I love you anyway.
Yes.
But that's the point, man. Like, we live in a free country. Who someone votes for you, I'm still going to have this conversation. You voted for Harris or any other Democrat or any other Republican. That's your choice. That's fine. It doesn't define you as a person.
I agree.
That's like saying that you like the Las Vegas, the Raiders, and I'm a Rams fan.
Right.
Who cares?
And then we start arguing about it.
Who cares?
Right. It's like
good for you. Awesome. I'm glad you're picking a side.
Right.
Great. Tell me why. Let's have a conversation about it.
Maybe I'll throw 10, 20 bucks on the game, but
sure,
I'm not going to go argue with you.
That's the world that we live in, unfortunately. And I do think that's also a big thing that Trump does incorrectly.
Yeah.
He is very divisive.
Oh, yeah.
Very divisive.
He is hilarious with it.
And he just doesn't have the beautiful articulation to start bringing some people together. And when we get a president that does that, and I think that probably will happen after we get a big market crash, we all start coming together. There's a big change. And then, man, 2032 and beyond is going to be legendary.
We can't even describe what reality is going to look like 2-3 years from. No one can, because with the acceleration of AI, it's so fucking linear.
Linear and exponential.
Oh, sorry. It's so exponential, not linear.
Yeah. It's very, very fast. And our Hamrozi's take, because a lot of people thought AI would take normal jobs.
Right.
But it's creating, it's doing music, it's already just absolutely going after, anything creative.
Oh, yeah.
From a stock standpoint, I shorted Adobe about a year or so ago, not super heavy, but I have a small short position in it because, again, just thinking and growing rich. Like, a lot of my days is just walking, thinking, like, how is something XYZ going to impact ABC? With Adobe, I'm sure they'll figure it out, but you can use Grok and all other AIs to do essentially what Adobe does and what people pay it. They're just going to cancel their subscriptions on Adobe and use a lot of the free AI resources that are available.
Why not?
Pretty simple. And Adobe's gone down 13% since then. So and again, I'm sure they're going to recover, but again, just using this information, using this data, anyone has the opportunity to take advantage of incredible moves in the market.
Didn't Apple buy some of Adobe?
I don't know. They might have invested into Adobe, but I don't believe they bought them out.
Okay, I don't think it was a buyout, but if I remember correctly, a story, at some point, I think Apple did invest in Adobe. I would like to fact check that.
Fact check it.
Dakota, can you see if Apple invested in Adobe?
Yeah, they probably did something to that extent. But, that's a really fascinating topic. Businesses investing into other businesses.
Oh, yeah, they did.
1984. Nice.
So that was probably after Jobs sent that famous email.
Okay, cool. I love that. I did not know that. That's awesome. And that's done very well. But on that topic, so let's say you're a small business owner and you got $300,000 of cash sitting there, right? Operating expenses, you're paying all your bills, all the things, but you have a profit.
Losing 7% in inflation.
Take some of that money
Yeah.
and buy a competitor's stock if they're public,
100%.
right? I mean, trucking, like buy Knight Transport or CSX or another transportation company. Learn how to take that money, take that capital, put it into other markets so that it moves for you. Most people don't know that businesses can invest into other businesses.
That's a good point.
And in the public markets, it's called public. So anyone access to it. And so if you, as
even
a business,
in a private company.
of course, yeah. So it's easier if it's public. Private takes a lot more work, a lot more diligence. But I love when businesses understand and realize that even if you're a small business, you own a hair salon, a nail salon, automotive repair center, you can take your excess cash and buy assets with it. And that makes that company inherently more valuable.
Yeah, 100%. Because at the end of the day, I do believe whatever the numbers say, inflation is 7 to 8%. So if you have say you're making 100K a year in profit, you're letting 7% of that just waste away. So you need to diversify. There's 4 core pillars that I talk about in a white paper that I put out called The Great Displacement. And I have a thesis where I believe that all companies will need to have 4 core pillars installed. That's your own LLM, your own AI that's learning from all of your operations and transactions, your own digital brand. You need to also have asset intelligence. So you need to diversify from fiat, diversify into stocks, into different assets, Bitcoin, real estate, gold, commodities, whatever your risk profile is. And then the 4th is being quantum resistant, because eventually quantum computers will be more readily available and it will break all encryption as we know it. So I believe if any business in any industry has these 4 core pillars, they can survive the Great Displacement.
Tell me more about quantum displacement.
Yeah.
Or
so
quantum resilience, what'd you call it?
Resistance.
Resistance.
Yeah. So quantum resistance is basically different algorithms like Killis and Cypher. There's these couple quantum resistant algorithms. They're open source, and essentially it's a way to prevent against your encryption being broken by a quantum computer. A quantum computer can so like it's basically a longer algorithm. It's more numbers and characters, random characters, because right now SHA-256 is the highest level of encryption in most places. So like when quantum computers are more available and hackers have the ability to go in and use these machines to break encryption, they can break encryption on an entire bank, right? And then take everyone's personal information. They can move transactions, send money overseas. They can do whatever they want once they broke the encryption on the bank at that point. And most of these banks are still running on like COBOL servers.
Yeah, like Microsoft DOS. They're bad. I mean, so when I hear you say that, what I'm sitting here thinking is, how can I use this data, which is new to me? How can I use this to infer what that's going to do for future regarding investments and stocks? And I just hear cybersecurity.
Yeah.
Cybersecurity stocks, Palo
100%.
Alto, tons of other ones. Like you have the ability to invest into that, because is cybersecurity going to become more important or less important?
Way more.
5 years from now.
And it's going to create a lot of jobs. We need a lot of people in cybersecurity. A lot of people. Like, because people are going to use AI for some crazy things, bro. Like people are going to use it for
I'm already getting impersonated.
Yeah.
And you probably are too, right? Because you're big on social media. So like I have tons of impersonators that create lookalike accounts, and they'll spell my name with 3 R's or 4 R's. And they don't have the blue check mark or verification, but they will reach out to people and they'll go, "Hey, I'm Jerremy. Send me 2 Bitcoin and I'll send you 4 Bitcoin back." And people are like, "Oh, I love Jerremy." And so they'll send them money. Not 2 Bitcoin, but I have literally had people reach out to me and like, "Is this you messaging me?" So again, just an example. Yeah, scams are everywhere, and they're going to get worse and they're going to get harder to understand and track. Like that's a big industry.
So a real world example of using quantum resistant technology is what we'll need to have is quantum resistant encryption on all of your on all of your social media posts. So say, for example, you post something on social media, you're going to want to post it from something that's called your content provenance of origin, C2PA. It's a type of compliance. And then it will distribute it to each social media platform and say, okay, here's my initial stamp. I post this from my chain. This is me, because we're going to run into a scenario where it's so easy to replicate someone, easy to even hack into their Instagram.
Wow.
So you're going to need to post from a central source that distributes to the other platforms and says, hey, this is my content with my metadata. I posted it at this time on my chain. We're going to have to go there. It's the only solution.
No, that makes tons of sense.
Yeah.
Wow. That's awesome. Good information.
Yeah.
Thanks, man. Always like to learn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, we're flying. We're doing all kinds of topics. This is good.
I love it. So I love studying other people in terms of their mastery at their skill set. set. What's your first principles when meeting a new customer and assessing their situation?
Sure. First customers, first principles, find out who they are. Ask big, deep, serious questions like, why do you want to make more money? What's the point? What's the goal for you? What are you trying to accomplish? What's the meaning of more money for you? And very, very often, I want to travel with my family. I want to be financially free. I want to have enough passive or what I call semi-passive income to escape the rat race or to just live like a human being. Most people right now, they're very good at human doings. It's not a lot of human beings in the world, right? Where they are present, they are here, they are available. That's really kind of my zone of when I meet someone, I try to be as punctual as possible. I try to listen extremely deeply and care, try to have compassion, try to have empathy, and really just understand where they're at and then help paint them a financial picture of how to get there using second grade math. Because I am not an overly complicated guy. I got a 970 on my SATs and I have like a 98 IQ. Like I'm pretty streamlined average, man. So for me, I need to use things so that I can understand them in the way I really break things down. Is my number one gift is taking complex subjects and making them as simple as possible. Through communication. Yep, that's my goal. So really, I'll break it down for them. I'll say, hey, here's your second grade math, and here's what the next 3 years looks like for you if you implement these tactics in this way with this amount of money. And here's your expenses, and take your income, and then let's increase a little bit by adding more value, and of course, trading the markets and taking that, paying off all of your debts, buying good debt, having debt pay you, and build them a picture. And so I'm a financial and wealth coach. I'm not really, I don't manage anyone's money because I believe in freedom for me and freedom for them. If I manage a bunch of people's money, now I'm not really free anymore, right? They call me, I got to answer them.
Right. Basically, I have investors.
Yeah. But now at the same time, they also aren't free because they also are relying on someone to make them money. And I've never one time in my life heard the phrase, oh, my financial advisor got me rich. I've never heard that. So I don't want to be someone's financial advisor. I want them to understand things for themselves. I want to give them the keys of freedom the same way I did, right? And teach them, show them how to do it, show them how to create income for themselves, show them the plan, show them the path, show them the buttons, because certain wealth is created through interacting with what we have now. One of my sayings is if you have access to the internet, you have access to income.
Yeah, you can do anything.
So it's available and just kind of show people how that works and show them how to use it.
Yeah, I mean, if you could learn anything from YouTube University on your phone.
It's the best.
It really is.
It's the best, man.
Yeah.
Another reason why, so my wife, she has a stock account. We buy 3 stocks. We never sell them. Apple, Tesla, Google.
Yep.
And that's because Google owns YouTube, and YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world. And that's where everyone goes for information. It's just going to continue to get bigger and bigger.
Correct.
And it's an incredible revenue source for people as well. I mean, it's amazing, like the opportunities there to create awesome income. I mean, I know 4 or 5 people that do high 6 figures, low 7 figures in revenue, top line from their YouTube channels.
Oh, that's great.
I mean, it's incredible.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
Man, see, how do we get, so as a financial institution, I wouldn't know one that would even look at that as steady income. They would call that high risk income.
They would.
When it's interesting, actually, the bankers will probably be replaced before the content creators.
Oh, hot take, but 1000% true.
Yeah.
Yeah, because what is one of the
They're replaceable.
Yeah, what's one of the number one human needs? Entertainment.
Yeah.
People want to be entertained.
All day.
All day. And how do people get entertained? Doom scrolling, YouTube, videos, content creators like me, like you. That's what people watch. And so the more people watch, attention, Alex Mosey says, is like the number one currency right now. That's the biggest thing that people want.
Attention, data, 2 currencies. Yeah.
Yep.
Liquid gold.
Yes.
Literally.
Yes. Yeah, man. I love it. I think having people just be aware that that exists, especially parents that have kids. If your kid's on YouTube, like I am really working with my 15-year-old on how he can create income streams, not only trading, because he trades Roblox, plays on Roblox a lot with his buddies and his friends. But it's like, okay, how can you create a TikTok account or an Instagram account or a YouTube account and create funny or compelling or unique or insightful information content that people will view? And if they view them enough, you'll make an income that way.
Start making a revenue.
And again, it's not like a guaranteed income initially, but I do believe it is an income stream that is very, very likely to continue in the future.
Yeah, I think so. And it's an AI proof thing because AI is going to want to collect more information and it's going to want to learn from people and their experiences. So I think the creator economy right now is roughly 250 billion a year. I think there's some research. I've done research on this topic. It's expected to go close to $1 trillion by 2031, 2032.
I'm all about it, man. I mean, that's the gig economy.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? I pay you $10, you pay him $10, he pays someone else $10, and like that $10 is circulating in this ecosystem, in this sphere where everyone can eat.
Yeah.
And the money transfers, and you have this velocity, and you have people that are paying other people for their skills and their talents and their information and their use. And yeah, there's going to be AI YouTube channels. Like you're going to subscribe to robots. You'll pay robots, and someone built that robot, and that robot is going to do all the work, and the content creator is going to get paid because they're using the prompts and they're using information and they're using the intelligence. I mean, it's remarkable.
How do you feel about people who use AI to make a digital brand of themselves and like say they use one of those texts that you can replicate what you say, what you do and everything, and you can make like us sitting down on this podcast like with our AIs. How do you feel about that? Yeah.
Thumbs up, man. I have one.
So, yeah. Like I'm biased.
Yeah, I'm biased. Mine is Delphi. So I've used the Delphi AI tool, and I'm fully cloned and fully digitalized. So
what was the process like on that?
Well, I hired a really great team. Shout out to Jessica Cox. She's just an insane, so skilled woman that put everything together for me and really helped me through the whole process. But I she combed and we combed through all of my data that I put online. I mean, I have 10,000 hours of content and videos and information online. Podcasts. I mean, this is my 1,000th podcast episode probably that I've a guest appearance on, and I've done hundreds of podcast episodes myself. So long story short, you comb through all this data and you upload it and you say, okay, this is no longer relevant. This is dumb. Take out these keywords. Focus on this. Do this. Don't do this. And right now, people can literally call me and talk to a digital clone version of me, and that is my brain on that digital clone that they can talk to, and it's like talking to me.
And how's the response quality? Yeah,
yeah. I'll send you mine just so you can play with it.
I do. I want to see.
Unreal. And again, my topic, the information is quite in depth because I've read 3,000 books in my life.
Oh, there we go.
And again, with podcasts and information and just diatribes that I'll go on, yeah, it learns, and it's really, really remarkable.
100%. No, cool. You definitely have to. I'm a big book reader too, so I'm glad we're on the same page with that. I think we talked about this a little before. What's your number one book recommendation?
Yeah, number one book. I'm gonna go through a few, but number one, Think and Grow Rich changed my life a lot. That's just kind of like a classic. But big shout out to my girl Jen Sincero. She wrote a book called You're a Badass at Making Money, and she's just so funny and she's so creative and she's so cool. Just the way she writes, it's very personal and it's fun, but it's useful. Connects a lot of dots. And so I love her book. Her book changed my life in a big way. It was one of the big propulsions that helped me write my book, Money Grows on Trees, which became a bestseller.
And where can you find that book at?
Wherever you sell books, you know. I think most people are going to buy it on Amazon, but yeah, wherever they sell books. That kind of was probably my big jump into content creation, just because I sat down and wrote a book. It's hard to do. And it was before
AI.
It was before AI, so it's all me. But I don't use ghostwriters. I do use ChatGPT to help me come up with titles or like chapter headlines or like, hey, take this and like make it less wordy, because brevity is something I'm always working on.
Yeah.
And that's a great book. But then, man, a goated book for sure is Audible version, Outwitting the Devil.
Oh yeah, that's how accurate that is today.
Dog, I listen to that maybe twice a year. It is just unbelievable. And my wife, so she's big into metaphysics. She has her doctorate in metaphysics, metaphysical and spiritual studies. She believes, and I believe too, that Napoleon Hill just channeled, tapped into the dark side or the dark force, and was like,
and spoke to him.
Yeah,
it makes sense.
And just like that is, I mean, because that was written in like, I believe, the 1930s.
Yeah, it's wild how accurate it is today.
Oh my gosh, on point.
It's like, wow,
so phenomenal. So that's an incredible book. Man, you just go through the list. I mean, How to Influence Friends.
Dale Carnegie,
Creature of Jekyll Island, Sell or Be Sold, Grant Cardone, Be Obsessed or Be Average. I've read everything. Ray Dalio. I mean, I love books because that's where rich people put secrets that broke people won't look inside of a book. If you want to lead, you must read. If you want to succeed, you must read. All these like little funny little clippets, but it's a way to escape the rat race, is just to read.
Have you read Simon Sinek's books?
Start With Why was a huge game changer for me.
Same.
That's the only one I've read from Simon.
Leaders Eat Last is a great recommendation.
Okay.
Another one from him. Yeah. I mean, Start With Why. That's a classic. I actually just read that again for probably the third time, I think last week.
Great speaker. Shout out to Simon. Well done, man.
Yeah.
Biggest, I think one of the top 10 biggest TED Talks of all time.
Oh, yeah.
Guy crushed it. Great speaker, great leader, awesome dude.
Yeah, I mean, he talked a lot about, companies don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. So it's like that's changed my mindset completely on everything I do now. Like whenever I'm marketing, whenever I'm doing sales or creating a deck or creating a project or writing code, right? It's like, why am I doing this?
Yes, let me ask you that question. How does one, like when you say change your mindset, I know exactly what you mean, but how does one do that exactly? Like, is there a step? Is there a process? How does one change a mindset?
Great question. How does someone change their mindset? I would say it's a process. I don't think it's like an overnight thing. I think it's like our brain takes at least 3 weeks, 21 days to form a habit. So if you start forming a mindset, hey, like I'm just going to be good. I'm just going to figure it out. Everything is going to happen. I'm going to make it. Like that, the abundance mindset, the growth mindset that you talked about, I think over a process of time, it just happens. And then it starts to compound. You start to notice like your mindset's changed. You've noticed like how more resilient you are, and you really start to feel the compounding effect effect. So I would say it's a process over time.
Yeah.
What about you?
I agree with that. Obviously, I mean, everything is time, energy, or money. I believe when someone says, or you hear the phrase, oh, my mindset changed, it's going to be a belief, right? Because if you change your beliefs, you change your identity. If you change your identity, you change everything around you. And the identity is your words, your environment. When you change your words, so let's just do a perfect example. Trump did this to me.
Right, right.
Insert whoever
Right.
did this to me.
Personally.
So that is a personal attack that
Yeah.
someone took all the control away from you and did something to you. Okay. Now, if you read a book that says, hey, you're a victim if you think that everything is happening to you. And you go, well, what does that mean? Why would something happen in any other way? And then as you continue to read, it says, listen,
It's because of you.
it's your fault.
That's all of it.
This is you. This is you. That's why it's called universe, right? You are the verses that you speak out loud.
I like that.
Thank you. So when you twist it, you start understanding, wait a minute, Trump happened for me. Well, now it's a gift. Everything starts happening as a gift.
Yeah.
Everything is a gift for you to either learn, to grow, to adapt. And that tweak, if you start using that word differently, your brain, instead of being attacked, which your normal human response is to fight back,
Yeah.
well, now you're not being attacked.
Correct.
Now you're receiving a gift.
Well, it's again like the why factor. It's like, well, why is this happening to me?
Yeah.
Why am I getting this lesson right now? Okay, what did I do wrong? Okay,
It's one
all
of my
right.
favorite questions, dude.
Bro, like, why is this? All right, so yeah, you got to you know how it is. You got to parse through the situation. You're like, okay, I might have fucked up on that last time. I didn't learn my lesson. So
Yeah.
I'm having the universe smack me over the head one more time.
Yeah.
You really get it now?
Yeah, but that question, right? Why is this happening for me? If you ask that question, your brain will come up with an answer.
Yeah.
Versus, why is this happening to me?
Correct.
That one small little word, that one tiny little shift, now it's going to start changing everything. Again, that's how mindset changes. You read something, you see a belief, you see evidence, and you make a shift.
Yeah. What got you into manifestation and studying frequencies, quantum entanglement, quantum theory, Joe Dispenza?
Yeah, man. I think there was a book. I'm just trying to remember the guy's name. Greg something. The Divine Matrix. And I read that book probably 3 weeks after I had a really, really heavy plant medicine trip. They put me in the hospital. So I was in a 5-day K-hole.
Oh, shit.
Not good. Totally just
5 days?
5 millennium in my brain.
Oh, 100%. 5 lifetimes.
Buddy, not good. I started wow, that was a spiritual deep dive.
Yeah.
I saw the demons. I saw all the things that were in my body that I didn't like. And I started reading on it and studying that piece. So that was October 2018. And that was a very negative experience for me. Again, right? Negative experience to me or negative experience for it was a very negative experience for me. It was an opportunity for me to learn. If I chose to learn, which I did, why did this happen for me? What was the lesson here? What did I need to learn? And what I needed to learn was there is a much, much bigger world out there that's not just me. It's not my little world. I am impacting other people. I'm doing this for a bigger reason. There's so much more here. And for people who have done some type of plant-based medicine, you're going to see things.
Yeah.
You're going to experience realms
yeah.
that you physically can't see, but they are there.
They're there. There's multiple densities.
And you feel them and see them.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, well, how do I explain this? And so I started going down that route because I saw things that I physically couldn't see until I went down that journey. And it was a fascinating journey. I had always written down goals. I think most people probably do as business owners or entrepreneurs, or people probably write down like, I want to live in this house. I want to be married. I want to have a 6-pack. I want to drive this car, whatever it is. And you write down this list of goals. And very, very often people will have noticed that will have come true generally to some degree. Versions of that will have come true. That was really it. It was just the noticing of how and why does the things I think about, ponder about, pray about, why do some of those things come true and some of them don't?
Yeah.
Diving into that world, that's why I just started learning. And that's truly what led me to my wife. I met her during COVID. I'm here in Vegas. I flew to Vegas from Salt Lake City for multiple reasons. But one of them was I hired her to be a spiritual healer for my whole company.
Yes.
And I was going to have all my company flying to Vegas, and she was going to do whatever spiritual healing was. I had no idea at the time, but I was like, sounds good.
Sounds good.
Who doesn't want their spirit healed?
Right.
So flew to Vegas, and then obviously they shut the world down. This was like March 13th, 2020. So Vegas is shut down. Hotel, the Strip, you remember?
Yeah. Dead.
Everything was closed. For the first time in human history, Vegas was frozen.
Wild.
When I landed here, so I was like, all right, well, I'm not going to sleep in the airport for 3 days. Who do I know in Vegas? Vegas. I was like, hey, well, I'm going to go see you anyway. I was like, can I just sleep on your couch? And so we did. It was a situation where, I mean, that was one of the best couple of weeks of my life, but I learned so much from her because she had studied and she actually has an incredible relationship with God. I'm still working on that personally, but she's good. Like,
Oh, yeah.
her and God are awesome. And I'm over here still figuring things out because I have my background. She has hers. But it was just remarkable to just understand.
What ethnicity is she?
She's from Kazakhstan.
Kazakhstan?
Yep. So she speaks fluent Russian. She moved here. I don't know the exact, but she was 20. So whatever that is, 20 years ago. Moved here and learned English and the whole thing and just had her life. But she is one of the greatest healers on the planet.
Oh, I love it.
She's so tapped in. She listens to a radio station that no one else is dialed in on.
100%.
And,
private frequencies.
Yes, ma'am. And she's remarkable. And she sees things other people don't see, and she hears things other people don't hear, and in a good way. And anyway, just seeing her and having her kind of lead me through some of the spiritual healing that I needed was a situation that was an incredible awareness for me. And then I went back home. I lived in Nashville, Tennessee at the time, and I got out my journal and dog. I had written November of 2019. So this is March of 2020. I had written down my dream woman. 5 pages long. It was her.
Boom. To a T.
Dude, the first sentence of my dream woman is, I want a woman with a crazy, wild, exotic name who is ultra feminine and just is a divine goddess. Her name is Svetlana.
You're like, oh.
Dude, I was like, come on. And just everything in the entire
Checked
page,
all the boxes.
Every single box. There's a lot of boxes.
Perfect on the algorithm.
Yeah. And I was like, and then for one of the first times in my life, I said, thank you, God. I said, thank you. Because part of the story that I skipped, not intentionally, but I lost $1.2 million in 2011 during the silver bubble. It took until yesterday for silver to reach the price that I had bought silver. And I had bought it with other people's money and lost all of their money because I bought something called a weekly call option, which go to zero. And I didn't know how that worked. And so I learned a very, very unique lesson. I lost millions in my 20s 3 times. 3. And in 2017, I bought a bunch of Bitcoin in 2015. In 2017, I became a multimillionaire or whatever. It was cool. And I sold everything in 2017 at 17,000 and some change on Bitcoin. And I did end up rebuying it. But in 2017, I'm like, okay, I'm piecing this together. 3 times, 3 instances, I lost all my money. What was the number one variable in all of that?
Common factor. Yeah.
The Taylor Swift song. It's me.
100%. The battle of me versus me is the biggest one.
And every time I would get money, I would get to this success. I viewed it all as me. It was an ego trip. And not a negative way, but like a toxic, positive way.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, I am amazing. I'm incredible. And I never gave credit to anyone else.
Yeah.
AKA big guns upstairs. Right? I was always like, this is me. I'm doing all of this. When I started actually being in gratitude towards a bigger, higher, deeper power.
That's when you notice a big change. Interesting.
The biggest change in my life.
Tell me more about that change. What did you notice?
Peace.
Peace.
I noticed peace, man. I noticed the ability to be vulnerable. I started being able to cry.
Really?
Yeah. I'd never cried before.
I don't cry.
I know.
It's been a while.
I know. I was able to cry just instantly. Like, I'd have no problem with it. I'd be able to open up. I'd be able to share. I felt what most guys do when you have a pain. You just bottle everything and just put it right there.
Yeah.
And I was able to just remove that. I just felt calm and I felt serene. And it was a moment where I just started realizing, wait a minute, everything really is happening in a divine time for me.
Yeah.
And back to the whole to me thing. So situations can happen for you, they can happen to you, or they can happen through you.
Yeah.
And you can truly be the hands and feet of God on this earth.
100%. Be a conduit.
And that's the realm that my wife works in. I'm working on getting there. I'm spending time on getting there. Things are slowly happening through me right now in a great way. But that is something I started noticing where I just was able to be calm, serene, peaceful in any and every situation. And I got a lot of tests along the way. And I personally think I passed all of them so far. And it was just a really remarkable shift for me, man. It was, it was the greatest year of my life. 2020 was the greatest year of my life.
2020.
For sure.
I love it. And what are some of your long-term goals with your career?
My BHAG, man. You ready?
Yeah, let's hear it.
President.
Let's go. Let's go.
And you're going to vote.
Of course.
For the first time. Because I know and I feel in my bones every time I've done a meditation, every time Tony Robbins, I've done all the Tony Robbins stuff. Big fan of Tony.
I've just seen him. I was at the Volt conference. He was there.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on,
First time
man.
seeing Tony. It's wonderful.
Legend.
Oh, yeah.
Big Tony fan. And again, I don't agree with everything he says. I don't agree with everything my mom says.
Right.
Like, that's fine. But I love him. He's a net positive for the world. Just like
Agreed.
Elon. I don't agree with everything Elon says. Like, I don't want to go to Mars, bro. But hey, do your thing. So I fully understood in that moment that you just have so much remarkable opportunities. Like, there's just so many things that transpire for you and that happen with you and that you get guided bit by. And
Yeah.
that was just he was an incredible force in my life. How was the vault?
It was really good. I mean, it's always a great time to meet a lot of people. I've been a PBD supporter for a while. I made some really good connections. So I would say it was a net positive.
Yeah.
I think it's a good conference.
Yeah. Date with Destiny, like the whole dreams, like you're writing everything down. And it wasn't just him. It's been Joe Dispenza. It's been every other meditation retreat I've done. I've done a few meditation retreats. But the reason I'm on this earth, the reason I'm born, the reason I was created, the reason I have the skills and the talents that I have and the connection abilities and all the things is to be the president.
Let's go.
Or at least freaking try.
Shoot for the stars. If you land on the moon, you're still in space.
Yeah, my man. Absolutely. And the education system needs to be changed.
There's a lot of, I think we need complete reset. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about what's your first 100 days in office look like if you were president and you had the House and the Senate.
Come on, dude. I mean, the thing I'm going to focus on, truthfully, 98% of it is going to be education reform. Get rid of the teachers that don't want to be there. Pay the ones that do want to be there a lot more. Make our schools incredibly safe. I never want a school shooting ever again, ever. Now, when I say school shootings, I don't necessarily, obviously I would love to get rid of like the gang violence.
Yeah.
But that's 1v1, 1v2. That sucks. It's terrible. It's awful. But the mass shootings, the fact that schools are being targeted is a divisive situation. It's a divisive problem. Yeah. And it's because we don't have a leader now or in the past who's like, listen, the most important pinnacle of our generation, of our everything is the kids and what they're learning and how they're applying it into the future.
And we've really just like abandoned the children over the last God knows how fucking long. I mean, we've infected this mindset of I have to be a factory worker, I have to go to college, I have to get stuck in the system, I have to get stuck in the rat race, I got to play these games, like I'm not going to have good health care, I'm not going to be able to buy a house. The younger generation is like looking, it's like, what are we supposed to do? Like, I can't buy a home. What do I have to look forward to? Like, you're going to see a lot of these young, like these Gen Z and everything like that get radical.
Yeah.
You're already seeing things.
Agreed. And I love teachers, and teachers are like, well, it's the parents' job to teach a lot of these things. I'm like,
is it?
Yeah, it is. Sure, for sure. But some of the parents don't know. Some of the teachers don't know.
Right. It goes back to education because they didn't learn from their parents.
Why aren't we reading every book on that shelf in school?
Yeah, I would agree.
What are we doing?
What are we doing with this garbage that we'll never use?
99% of it we're not using.
Right.
Like we go to school to be taught to memorize things that we're not going to use. And I haven't met one parent or older gentleman or lady who are like, oh yeah, our school system's incredible.
No one.
It's so fantastic.
No millennial or Gen Z, like boomers may say that still, but like
no, they don't.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't. They don't. Even the boomers,
Even
they're like, oh, my grandkids are like they're learning stupid things.
Yeah.
Like they should be learning to. Most of my boomer clients are like they should be learning taxes and how to like balance a checkbook. I'm like, well, checkbooks maybe not, but we need to be learning deep work on communication, on the physical level, on the spiritual level, class should just have 30 minutes of breath work. We should be running. We should be working out. We should be playing outside.
Writing code, teaching how to use robots. I mean, we should be doing a lot of things because we have to start preparing for what's coming next.
And we're not preparing, man.
We're so behind. I mean, if you see how China is educating their kids compared to how we're doing it, it's sickening.
So I'm going to mess some of the stats up right now, but I mean, as a country, we're the greatest superpower in the world. We are less than 30th in almost every single education category. And 30% of every child under the age of 18 is morbidly obese, not obese.
And now what, 1 in 10 is autistic?
Yeah.
Wild.
We have a really big problem that we're not addressing. And
huge health and education.
I can't see how parents aren't like, yeah, everything's fine. But that's what I'm going to focus on. So when people are like, what about Gaza? What about Ukraine? I'm like, listen, we have a Secretary of State. We have the Defense Department. We have an incredible team. Me and my cabinet are going to fix what's happening here. And we're going to fix this education system so that people aren't going into debt to go to college. That's a fixable problem.
Right. Well, yeah, education should be free. It should.
Of course.
Because it's going to be more profitable down the line.
Yes.
Instead of putting the kid $60K, $100K in debt, why don't you give him let him make $100K at 19?
Yes. Education should be free. Experiences should cost money. People, when they pay attention. So have things that people can pay for once they know what it is they want to pay for.
Yeah.
That's fine. But ultimately, yes, education should be free. And a lot of people are like, oh, well, the government's going to go even more in debt. I'm like, no. There's very, very easy ways for the S&P 500 and for individuals that are going to school to finance this. Like if you're 5 and you go to kindergarten and you start and you have to invest $400 into the S&P 500. And every kid, when they're 5, 6, 7, 8, starts to learn how to use that money
and
to
make
grow
it so you lose your sweet snacks if you lose money on the Hicks.
Sure. And you start
no snacks if you lose money.
And you start developing this system of, wait a minute, every person can interact with the markets. Even at a young age, you go, dude, I go to schools all the time and teach kids second grade, third grade, fourth grade how the stock market works. They get it instantly.
Kids are smart.
Of course. So it's second grade math. So you go in there, you teach them. And as they grow through college, they now have enough money to start picking and choosing the things they want to do. If someone wants to be in a particular environment where they need a lot of college education, they'll have enough investing money to pay for that if they want to go. Like, this is a solvable issue.
It is. It's not solvable. Like, people who think it's not solvable is because they have some sort of control on the market. And at the end of the day, like, that's why we have a lot of technologies that are concealed. It's because a lot of systems that stay the same is because there's so much money at play. Imagine we don't need oil anymore, right? Because we have infinite energy. How many things does that change when you don't have to pay to drive back and forth, fly, for your food to be transported, for your products and services to be manufactured and created, right? Like, imagine if all that stuff was like almost nothing. And then we have robots and AI building, 3D printers printing. It's like, okay, so like, if we have all this tech, why aren't we using it?
Yeah. Speaking of, I'm going to get you on my podcast soon. It's called Solving America's Problems.
Let's go.
And it really is just focus on me right now learning, because I would say on a 1 to 10 for political knowledge, I'm a 2. And I do not believe that the president should be a career politician.
I agree with that.
Duh.
I don't think anyone in Congress, House, Senate should be a career politician. I think it should be
term limits.
Absolutely. It's common sense. It's common sense.
Why do we have 88-year-olds in Congress?
Right.
Bro, go retire.
Go retire.
Get out of here.
Please.
Bernie, I love you, bro. You've been doing this for 27 years.
You guys are killing us, literally.
Get out of here.
And because they can't agree on shit.
The average age of our political, Trump is the oldest president, right? We had the other oldest president, and he's back to the oldest president. Our average age, you ready for this? 71.
See, it's crazy.
The president is the chief and commanding officer of what?
The military.
And they are 20 years past forcefully retiring in the military. If you're at 65 and you've been in the military, you forcefully get retired. They're like, hey, bro, thanks.
Thank you for your service.
Appreciate you. You're out.
But it's just like, it's
go play golf. You're 65.
It's common sense at the end of the day. And then you look at, you're a trader. So it's like, you look at some of these guys, like, how do you make $250K a year, but you're worth 200 million? Like, if it whacks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it's not a fucking mongoose, right? It's like,
it's not a fucking mongoose. What a t-shirt. Like, this is such an obvious situation. And so when people are like, but you're not a career politician. Yeah, I know. I'm a person who was born in America. That's one of the requirements. Good. I'm over the age of 35 now. Good. And I made it, right? I'm in a financial place where I'm not going to have to take bribes, which is why I think one of the reasons why people voted in for Trump, right? Because he has enough money where we truly feel like people who voted for him, like, he's probably not getting bought out and paid for.
Right.
He has enough money.
Is he making money on the back end on some deals? Of course. But
he's not. His sons are, and everyone, sure, do your thing, do whatever. But the fact is, I truly believe that the president should be someone who has very beautiful military connections, which I do. Also, as someone that's not a career politician.
Well, you've got to be, I feel like country's a business. The American corporation, if you can't run a business, you shouldn't be an elected official, because you got to deal with budgets. You have to deal with managing people. It's the same thing as running a company.
And Warren Buffett nailed it, man, where he's like, listen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right.
I know what you're
the classic line. The classic line. Like, listen, everyone should just be
super simple.
Based on the balance sheet. Are you profitable or not? Oh, you're not? Out. Bye.
I agree. Easy.
Common sense.
But see, if we were in business, you think of them as executives. Say you run a $3 trillion company a year, and you have
Apple, Nvidia, Google.
Right. You've got 100 C-levels and you have 400 directors, right, of your company. If they're not cash flowing, are you going to keep them around? If they're not meeting quota, are you going to keep them around? If they're making the company hemorrhage money, are you going to keep them around?
No,
obviously
not. What are we
not.
doing, family? What are we doing here?
Yeah.
We need a young, jacked president who's doing push-ups at 1600 Pennsylvania with a bunch of military, right? And then pours in positivity and love every single day. Not division, love, peace, kindness, and can get the job done.
Yeah.
Right? We'll go out and actually get some actual work done, which, again, Trump's doing a great job of, in my opinion. Like, the dude works.
Yeah, he doesn't sleep.
No, he doesn't sleep. He sleeps 4 hours. He's out there doing things.
Trump's a unique character. I don't think we'll ever have any character president like him again. I mean, these last, 10 years.
He was in the WWE. He was in the WWE.
Literally.
Literally, homie. Like, the movie Idiocracy.
Oh, yeah.
the president was a wrestling superstar.
I remember.
I'm like, guys, what are we doing?
Yeah.
This is actually coming true. Yep. So that's the BHAG, man. That's the big goal. Up until that point, like I'm going to write books. I'm going to travel. I'm going to be on podcasts. I'm going to connect. I'm going to grow my network. I'm going to pour into people and I'm going to show them that there's an opportunity here for true, actual change from the root system, which is our kids, our generations, and our education system.
100%. What's your foreign policy look like?
Secretary of State, let them figure it out. Get a great Secretary of State, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have the team, have the cabinet work on. I'm focused on this country.
Yeah, that's fair. I like that.
And I'm not a watchdog. I'm a big believer like other countries will figure it out.
Yeah. We don't need to go police everyone.
No. Taiwan, China, Israel, they'll figure it out.
How do you feel about the Taiwan situation? Because that could have a pretty significant impact on our day-to-day life if China takes Taiwan Semiconductor Company, the whole reason why they want Taiwan.
Almost the whole reason, which is kind of wild. I will do everything in my power to prevent a nuclear war, and that's probably what would happen. It's a big negative, right?
Yeah. They're definitely saying, hey, mutually destruction if China takes Taiwan.
Yeah.
So say China do it in Trump's administration. What do you think he would do?
What Trump does best, bully him.
Yeah.
Come up with some type of crazy hairball tactic, and he would fly over to China, and he would hang out with whoever's in office at that time, probably still Xi.
Yeah.
And same thing he did with North Korea. I mean, he is the only standing president to go to North Korea. When's the last time you heard anything about Kim Jong-un? Bro's been silent.
Yeah.
Silent. So whatever Trump said worked. Right?
Hell Baghdadi.
Yeah.
He's hilarious, though, you can't lie.
Yeah, he is. He is a wild character, to your point.
We killed him like a dog. He died like a dog.
He's coming to town, right? Shane?
Oh, I love Shane. Is he?
Yeah.
When?
He's gonna be in Vegas, I think, in like 2 weeks.
Oh, I have to see that. Shane is up there.
Yeah.
He's fucking funny. He does the best Trump impersonation. Oh my God.
He's really, really good at it. Yep. That's the thing is I'm still playing with, I'm still learning, I'm still studying, again, definitely the foreign policies and things of that nature. But I mean, I truly believe I can gather an incredible cabinet. Tony Robbins will be on the cabinet, is my hope. Some incredible thought leaders and some great business people that are there to help this country grow from the inside out, and then get a remarkable State Department. Get an incredible Secretary of State that is an influential, powerful, kind, caring person that actually does good for the world.
What would you do on drug policy? We know we have a lot of fentanyl deaths right now, for example.
Yeah.
It could be foreign actors sending it in.
Yep. I mean, I'm an anti-drug guy, almost fully, in the sense of do it in your home, don't bring it into this country. Find ways to make that as illegal as possible. But the biggest drugs, the ones that are causing the most deaths, the most problems, yes, fentanyl is up there, but it's the pharmaceutical.
Yeah, it's a fair point. It's true.
Like there's tons of over-the-counter drugs and there's tons of situations that are way more devastating and way more prevalent. Unfortunately, I mean, the people that are addicted to Oxycontin, Vicodin, Valium.
Correct.
Insane number.
Yeah.
And we just hand that out like candy pills.
It's like candy.
Right? Like going to the VA, like how many veterans get popped their antidepressants and their pills? I mean, I work with very, very closely many special forces guys, guys from the 5th group and the 188th and all these dudes that are just prescribed things from the VA that make them brain dead.
Yeah, I'm very familiar. I've seen it. My dad's a veteran. And I've seen...
You've seen it, man, firsthand.
Yeah, he was in an accident while on duty, God, forever ago, was in a car accident, and he died at the scene, and 2 other soldiers, so they resuscitated him and they put him on pain pills. So he was on my whole life on opiates, on the pain pills.
That's more of a negative in my opinion. Obviously drugs are a huge issue, but I'm a net, those are negative.
100%.
Right? Like that's kind of my thing. And again, you could watch the podcast and go, bro, but you did plant medicine. Yeah. In the certain time, in a certain place, in a certain space, that can be very useful, but it's also not something that should be abused. And there could be clinics and there can be healing centers.
Right. Which there should, because we have enough data to show now that it definitely heals a lot of mental diseases. Correct. A lot of
tons
trauma.
Of data.
Tons of data.
Like if you haven't watched the movie Fantastic Fungi, like what do you do all day?
Yeah.
Like check out that documentary. There's a lot of evidence. But again, should people just be able to do shrooms massively recreationally outside with other people around? No. Do it in your house.
Yeah.
Homie.
Controlled environment.
Controlled environment. Do it in your domicile.
Yeah.
Like drugs, if you're going to do drug in your home, knock yourself out.
Yeah.
In the streets, absolutely not.
What would you do to fix homeless?
Great question. So we had a very, very in-depth podcast not that long ago about homelessness. So there's homelessness and there's houselessness.
Yeah. I've heard about this.
Yeah. And again, the big thing is like how many people want to be homeless? Homelessness by choice should be illegal. Now, here's what's interesting. It should be illegal to not have a home.
Right. Whether or not you can afford the home or not is the next question.
Correct. And so if you can't afford the the home, we can figure that out.
Yeah.
Right?
We have enough space.
So, for example, to get a tax credit for real estate right now, it's pretty easy. You're a tax specialist. Like, you can have depreciation and all the things that you mentioned earlier. My thought is, in order to get that tax credit, you have to donate a certain amount to an organization, and their organizational job is to do what? Build homes for the homeless.
Yeah. Well, you have to, yeah.
Yeah, and you put them
incentivize it.
Exactly. And you incentivize it in a nice way. Have structures. Don't do section out housing and throw them all the way over there and make it a big ghetto, right? You put it in places that are nice, that are beautiful. You have investors and entrepreneurs that are going to get these tax credits. That you're going to put up certain houses in different parts of the city. So it's kind of intermingled.
That's why it's like when people talk about like the government should have more control, it's like, what evidence do you have like with them spending money well?
I don't want the government to have any control. Give it to the entrepreneurs.
Give it to the entrepreneurs.
Give it to the people who are figuring out, give it to the private sector and incentivize them to fix homelessness, because no one walks next to a homeless person and goes, oh, this is fantastic.
This is great.
In our deepest hearts, we want to help this person, but we can't give them money because money expands everything it touches. Yeah. So if they're depressed, if they're on drugs, if they're upset, if they're frustrated, if they have crazy anxiety, it's going to expand that. So you can't just necessarily give every single homeless person hundreds of dollars and they're going to fix the problem. But if you put them in a house, if you put them in a home, if you take care of them, and if they go to this home and they start, let's just say, messing up or doing things incorrectly because there's going to be a protocol that the entrepreneur and that this council will be ahead over, then they get to go and have incredible treatment, right? Then they get to go to healing centers and they get to have small government subsidies to truly help fix. A lot of it is mental health, right? I think a lot of people would agree on that. Yeah. So we got to get them off of drugs. We have to rehab them. And that's going to be all incentivized for these tax credits. Again, very simple to solve. It's not a crazy problem, it is a crazy problem. It's not a crazy problem to fix. It's fixable. And we need entrepreneurs. Yeah. And we need people that care. And there's tons of people that care. A lot of 501(c)(3)s that are fixing homelessness and houselessness. And you pour into those organizations and you give them certain grants. Because again, when people think like, where are you getting all this money from? Dude, cut defense spending by $1 trillion. Just by $1 trillion. Like the amount of money we spend on defense.
We spend about $1 trillion on paper, but we don't know what's off paper.
Yeah, it's a lot more, man.
Well, yeah, our GDP is about three trill, so it's around 1, hovers around 1, but we don't know what's on books and off books.
When's the last time we audited it?
When's the last time they passed an audit?
Both and, right?
Yeah.
So it's like we cut some of the spending a little bit.
Is the gold still in Fort Knox?
Right. No one knows. Probably not. So there's a lot of those situations where, again, I think it's just a math situation. And again, am I going to fix every problem known to man? Of course not. But again, you fix education. Who's going to want to be homeless?
Right.
Almost no one. They're going to have a lot more education and information on how to create value in the world. And if you choose to be homeless, that is illegal and that will not be permitted.
Right. Well, then as long as there's the infrastructure, like you said, in place, like to be able to put these people inside a home and then give them some sort of recovery mechanisms to be able to reskill them and be like, okay, why are you homeless? How did you get here?
Heal, reskill, repurpose.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you're talking like foreign aid. Cool. Well, guess what? Place a lot of people in foreign aid.
Well, that's why people don't...
the Peace Corps.
People don't understand the whole tariff thing. To talk about that a little bit, hear your perspective on tariffs.
Well, my macroeconomic skills aren't extremely proficient, but ultimately what Trump is trying to accomplish with tariffs, in my slightly limited opinion, is he's trying to get enough money to come in from the production that we are exporting so that hopefully / ultimately / maybe he gets rid of federal income tax.
Yeah.
Because in the late 1800s, in the United States, although we were much smaller at the time, and almost everything was imports and exports, we had a huge surplus.
Yeah, we were running at a surplus.
We were banking.
Yeah, we were making tons of money.
And so my general thought process ultimately would be flat tax, right? As an entrepreneur, as an individual citizen, as a corporation, like each entity has a different tax rate. But how easy would it be if I go, hey, bro, 8%. You cool? Cool. Get rid of the IRS.
Yeah.
Don't worry about filing taxes. It's just 8%.
Yeah.
How much did you make? 8%. Cool. Made 10,000? Made 10 million. 8%. High five.
Yeah. And
thanks for playing.
So
stroke a check.
20 to 40%.
Stroke a check, chill out. But then
it's like the tax layers. It's you tax on the income, capital gains, tax on sales, tax on sales.
8%. High five. Thanks for playing.
Right. Keep it simple, stupid.
Thanks for playing the game. It's going to be really easy, really simple, really efficient. Again, that's just one of my thought processes ultimately, but that's what he's trying to accomplish with tariffs. That's his ultimate goal. And will he be able to pull that off? Maybe, maybe not. And here's why. People don't like Trump, dog. He's a clown internationally. Like internationally, France, Germany, Canada, Mexico, Guatemala, South America, South Africa, Australia. No one likes Trump.
Yeah.
Because he's a douchebag. He's an egotistical maniac. And
you got that right.
So
it's working though.
It works. And so if you have someone who's, let's just call it charismatic, kind, caring, compassionate to some degree, and a little bit more open-ended with certain situations, I truly think that you could have a little bit of a better relationship. You could have more tariffs. I have no problem with tariffs whatsoever.
I agree. I'm on the same page. The federal income tax wasn't supposed to be established. In 1913, it was like basically a whole whole situation. But I know we're running out of time. Jeremy, we got to do this again.
Was this the best combo ever? Dude, we did everything, homie.